All right. This is my STP. I did it at a media production firm called Knack Factory on the outskirts of Portland. So basically what Knack Factory does is they shoot and design commercials for local or kind of international businesses. But they like pick and choose their projects. They work on pretty, they're pretty picky about it. So each one will have will generally be something that one of their producers is concerned about. So clients that I sort of saw were LL Bean, MasterCard, Michael Phelps. There's a few others, but those are like the big ones that I saw a few productions from. So I worked on 4 projects. So the Children's Museum was the first one. I did this for the first 2 days, and basically all I did was listen to a video recording of an interview, and then write exactly what they said onto a Google Doc. It was terrible. So the interviews were with parents about why they like the Children's Museum, and it was shot for a fundraiser to move the museum to a new building down on Thompson's Point, and basically transcribed and just keeps a record of what was said in an interview. And as I said, it was boring and it took forever. I basically was at a computer for 6 hours straight typing, and it was awful. So then the third day, I went to a shoot of Coma TV, and what this is, it's like a web-based series centered around some guy named Joe and his friend Joel. And they just go around different towns in Maine and eat food and do some interesting stuff. So this episode was in Waterville. And basically I shadowed this today and the other film days because everything's super expensive. Each camera was worth close to $20,000. So. And then there's the lighting and sound equipment, so they didn't really trust me with any of that stuff. So, yeah, this was a pretty interesting day. It was pretty relaxed. They didn't really care what I did, but basically the 2 stars ate, drank, and smoked weed all day. It was pretty surreal, actually. And then they just talked about random stuff, and that's basically the show. So. If you're into any of that stuff, it's probably good for you. I'd say check it out. All right, then the next week, the first project I worked on was a demo commercial for a baby seat. For this, I helped set up the lighting. It was pretty tough, actually. They really are pretty picky about how the lighting is set up, and you have to get it exactly right. So that took a while, but other than that, again, everything's so expensive. Basically just watched. And one thing that I really took away from this shoot was that it's a lot of work for not much result. Because basically, they were shooting straight for 6 hours for 3 minutes of video. I think they said. So they took 100 takes at least. When I was there, I had to leave before it was over, but yeah. And then so here's this is the camera that they use. I can't remember the name. It's a Canon. And then that's the other picture is the lighting that I had set up. Yeah, and then there's there's the baby seat right in the center. Then the last project I worked on was this thing called the Transition Project. What this is, it's I think it's a nonprofit. I'm not quite sure. I think it's I know it's in Westbrook. They might have another building in Portland. But basically, what they do is they provide a place for citizens to interact with prisoners transitioning back into society in the form of a cafe, and the prisoners are the sole employees. So what we did was we interviewed 2 ex-prisoners about how they were before and after jail. It was actually really cool, but both of the prisoners were like really religious. They were like kind of scarily religious, actually. They basically just talked about Jesus the entire time. And as I said, it provides a space where citizens can interact with the prisoners, with the goal that the stigma surrounding ex-prisoners disappear, because both of the guys that I interviewed were like super cool, really nice, and they just were at the wrong place at the wrong time, I guess. But they were both really well spoken. It was not like, it wasn't murders, it was like, I don't know, drugs, I guess, probably. So they were both well spoken, they had really interesting stories, and what I did was I controlled the sound of one of the cameras. So I just basically sat there and turned a dial all day, and it was so that like the background sound didn't get picked up too much. So it was right on the street, so like people would like ride their motorcycles by. It was super loud, so I'd have to turn the volume down. And yeah, I basically sat and turned a dial all day. So I mean, if that sounds interesting, this might be a career for you. So my goals going into this STP were to learn more about marketing and media production, 2 things I'm interested in, 2 possible career paths that I'm considering. Then also to learn what kind of worker I am in a real world environment. Like I have a job, but like this is kind of different. This is like an actual career, like not working at a fast food restaurant. And then also to get an idea of what kind of, what it takes to start a business. And basically the 2 main things that I could get from it were you need to have clear goals, you need to know what you want out of your business, and you have to just put in a lot of work. Like that's what everybody says, but it's the truth. It's not easy. So what I learned about the job, it's very tedious, requires a lot of attention to detail. I learned the process of carrying out a film shoot, and I learned that there's lots of waiting around for not much footage. Ultimately, I learned that this isn't really a good choice for me, not something I'm super interested in anymore. So yeah, maybe marketing, but definitely not media production. Not really, not going to worry about that. And then about myself, I don't enjoy sitting at a computer all day, but you know, I have the drive to get the work done. So I did sit around all day for the first few days, but I got everything done, and yeah. And then I couldn't really judge whether I'd be good at this, like at the media production side of things, or even the marketing side of things, just because everything's so expensive. They didn't really let me touch anything until the last day. So yeah, it was kind of hard to judge whether this would be a good fit for me. Well, it's not, but like I don't know whether I'd be good at it, I guess is what I would say. Any questions?
Questions, boys, girls?